What's up everyone, my name is Jinx and I'm currently rank 19 on the North American ladder. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Void build, aka 9 bugs, aka Kha'Zhix reroll, because, well, I'm good at the build and I've been popping off with it lately, and I feel like I can help you understand the build better with transitions, itemization, positioning, and rolling intervals. There's a lot to discuss, so let's jump right in. Here we have the full build with the primary traits consisting of 4 Brawler and 3 Void. First thing we're going to touch on is item priority. Before we get to that, if you end up liking the video, do give it a thumbs up and subscribe, as it really does help me out. If you have any questions about what we talk about today, feel free to jump on my stream. I do stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'll make sure to put the link in the description below. So 4 items you want to focus on: Guardian Angel, RFC, and Infinity Edge for the Kha'Zix, and Seraph's Embrace, Morello, and QSS for the Vel'Koz. Now in terms of which one you want to go for first, that's going to be the Guardian Angel and the Morello, because these 2 items is what we're going to be using on our transitional units to help keep your health high. Now I quickly want to touch on the Guardian Angel on Kha'Zix. The more I've played the build, the more I've found that this item is basically core for the unit. What it allows to do is, throughout the game, we're always placing the Kha'Zix to try and snipe the Kayle, the Jinx, the Jhin. And when this unit jumps there, usually what the enemy does is they surround that unit, or they'll have some melee units in the back to try and get our assassin, our infiltrator, stuck on that melee unit. So they jump, they're close to the kill, but they're stuck, on a Malphite, a Shen, whatever they end up putting back there. And then maybe their carry ends up killing our Kha'Zix before our Kha'Zix can finish off the melee unit and get to the carry. But with Guardian Angel, Kha'Zix will always get another ult off than he normally would. So that's one benefit. Second benefit is, after they kill the Kha'Zix, the melee units that were there, because of how Guardian Angel works and it drops aggro once he dies, those melee units start walking away, leaving the Kayle, the Jinx, all alone for that isolation damage. And when Kha'Zix dies in GA, he's almost always left with full mana. So he comes back, full mana, Kayle is left in isolation. That's an easy pop for the Kha'Zix as soon as he comes back. Now, I know what some of you are thinking: Jinx, what about Zeeks? What about the Kha'Zix? I've seen some streamers and they put the 2-3 Zeeks on the Kha'Zix because it's part of his name, huh? No, you're trolling if you're putting Zeeks on Kha'Zix, and here's why. So you're trying to get value out of the Zeeks, right? You're putting maybe the Vel'Koz here, the Fizz here, you're getting value, okay, cool. Maybe you're doing this, you're trying to get 3 units. But the whole way this build works is by moving the Kha'Zix around. All you're doing through the mid game, right? Because now we know that after the first 4 opponent, we can predict our next 3 opponents. So we're always using that to our advantage. We scout, are 2 of those 3 people, do they have their carries here? We move our Kha'Zix here last second because we don't want them to know. Our 2 of the 3 people right side, they're here. Another thing we're doing is we're doing the swap trick, right? Where we grab our Kha'Zix, we tab through the boards that we're trying to scout for example, in the top 4 or in a 1v1 situation. We're holding him, tabbing through the boards. We see, because they like to move their Kayle last second, and we match, right? So we're holding. Oh, we see him swap to the left. We instantly swap to the left. You think we can do that with 2 other units quickly? No. So just don't build Zeeks. Get the items I recommended. It'll be much better. Now we're going to look at some early game variations and that very first carousel, right? We talked about Guardian Angel, Morello, so definitely look to grab Sword, Chain Vest, Rod, or Tear. Do not grab a belt. If you get stuck with 2 belts, it's GG. Okay, Tear for Seraphs. All right. Now the first variation, we have 2 Brawler, Chrono, Sork, right? So at 3, you're looking to play these units, and then you're adding in the Sork at level 4. The other one is if you found the Kha'Zix instead, Kha'Zix Kai'Sa, with the Brawlers, or in this variation, just any upgraded unit, Leona, Poppy, anything tanky, okay? Now, the 2 item holders for this build are Kai'Sa or the Ahri, okay? Those are going to be the holders of the Vel'Koz. So this is where you're going to be placing your Seraphs and your Morello. Now, we talked about item priority and it's Morello, and here's why. Because Kai'Sa is the best holder of Morellos and Seraphs, better than the Ahri, okay? So If you can get the Morello early on, this is what will allow you to keep high health. All right, so that's our level 4. And then at level 5, you're just adding whichever one you didn't get. So if you're running here, just look to add in Chrono, the Twisted Fate, and there you are. And now you just play whichever carry you can upgrade. If you can get Kaisa 2, you're using the Kaisa 2. If you can get the Twisted Fate, I can add the Kha'Zhix in this scenario. If you get the Ari, then you're using the Ari. So whichever one you've upgraded, that's the one that you're going to be using. Because now you're going to be staying at level 5 for a while. We're going to touch on the leveling interval soon. Let's finish up with this though. At level 6, you're looking to get this combo. This is your strongest level 6, and if you can get this online with the items I said, that Guardian Angel right here, this will be able to get you to level 8. Now at level 7, it's not really that important. Obviously, the strongest synergy that we can add is the Kale. If you're finding one Kale, don't worry about upgrading this unit. You're adding that in for the Valkyrie on Kaisa. Otherwise, just feel free to add in a Vi if you found it, another Blitz, a Cho if you come across it. Anything is fine at level 7. And at level 8, now we've made a full circle. We've come back. This is what we're looking to finish off our build with. Now, some of you might ask, can I use Shaco instead of Kaisa? Can I use Syndra instead of Ari? There's 2 reasons why we don't do that. One, they're 3-cost units, and therefore we don't really want to upgrade them as you lose too much gold doing that once we're going to end up selling them. So upgrading 2-cost units much better. Second reason is these units use these 2 items much better than Shaco, Syndra, or other Sorks in these cost pools. And remember, you do want to use Morello and Seraphs on just whichever unit you upgraded first. Alright, let's go over leveling and rolling. If you're uncontested in this build, you will always slow roll. And here's how: you're never touching up that level up button through any of these stages, because you're just saving up as much gold as possible. Meaning you want to be at 40 gold by this stage. So that way you can start re-rolling once you hit level 5 over here. Okay, you're level 5. Alright, the only exception to this is Treasure Trove. Because you're getting a lot of gold, or in some lucky instances where you get a lot of early gold and you can go 10 gold over here. Let me change the color for the different scenario. If you get 10 gold in this round, if you can make 10 gold in this round, then yeah, sure, you can push level 5 over here if you can remain at 20 gold on this stage. That's the only case where you can level up early. Otherwise, you're just saving up gold, so you can have 40 gold by Kha'Zhix, 50 over here, and then you can start slow rolling through all of these stages to hit your Kha'Zhix. Now, the scenarios in which I hyper roll are when I have about 5 to 6 copies of Kha'Zhix. Then I consider hyper rolling on 3-1 to find those 3 more Kha'Zhix for that really big power spike, because I don't generally like dropping down lower than 30-20 gold here. If I am being contested, I still go for the slow roll version, and here's why. What I'll do on stage 3-2 is I'm going to take a look at his roll down. If he has about 4 to 5 copies of Kha'Zhix, I continue slow rolling. I'm about 50 gold, and I can grab all my Kha'Zhix during all of these stages, rolling 10 gold each time. If I see that he's hit his 9 copies, then what I do is I go for this build, but without the Kha'Zhix 3, and instead of slow rolling, I start pushing levels. I'll be able to hit level 8 much faster than he will, securing me the Cho'Gath and the Vel'Koz much earlier, and this build can definitely top 4 without the Kha'Zhix 3. Now you have 2 options. If during these slow rolls you are hitting some Kha'Zhix, then by 4-1 is where you want to spend a little bit more gold, drop down lower than 50, try to go 40, 30 gold to finish off your Kha'Zixes, right? Say you're at 7-8 copies, you definitely commit on 4-1 on the roll down at level 5, okay? If you're doing the slow roll and you're not hitting any Kha'Zix over here, then this is where you're gonna have to start making a decision. Okay, I'm just not hitting them. I need to stop rolling. Let me start pushing levels instead. Go to level 8, secure me the Vel'Koz and Cho for a top 4. Now you've done your roll down at level 5 to finish off your Kha'Zix, and as soon as you hit your Kha'Zix, make sure you're pushing for the level 6 here to get your level 6 power spike that we talked about. And at this point, you're just saving up to go back to 50 gold, start slow leveling, so that by 5-1, you can push for a level 8 all in. Okay, this is where you're going to be looking to finish off the full build with the Cho'Gath, the Fizz, and the Vel'Koz. And now we're going to finish up with positioning. Against Shredder and Kale, you want your Vel'Koz back in this middle row. Why? If you have your Vel'Koz here, Shredder, the Xayah will kill the Blitzcrank, kill the Vi, and then sometimes just target our Vel'Koz right away. No bueno. With Kale, if the Kale is here, it can splash onto the Vel'Koz really easily. So against Shredder, Kale, put your Vel'Koz back here, and your Kha'Zix, you're moving. If the Kale is here, the Shredder is here, you put it over here. If they're over here, then you just move it to this side. You might be wondering, why am I front rowing it? Well, because of the recent change, infiltrators always jump no matter what, and I just wanted to land faster so it can start attacking faster. And on that note, I'm going to quickly touch on Infinity Edge versus Deathblade. Deathblade is completely fine, but I believe the stat is after 2 stacks of Deathblade, it's greater than Infinity Edge. And right now, I don't care about stacking. I want my Kha'Zix to jump there, auto that Kale once, twice, and just pop it before it even like has to ult. Just pop that unit right away, the Jinx, whatever it is, and Infinity Edge allows us to do that. Alright, and now the best time to put Vel'Koz on this tile or this tile is against Infiltrators. So if someone is playing the same build as you, or if they're playing Mech Infiltrator, this is the tile that Vel'Koz goes on. Why? Because the Infiltrators will jump, and then you can also put the Malphite here. They get stuck on Malphite, Twisted Fate. Your Vel'Koz is nice and safe. Now, I'm going to give you an advanced trick playing against Mech Infiltrators, because good Mech Infiltrators will swap their mech all the way to this side and it will splash onto the Vel'Koz. So they put their mech here, they put their Infiltrators here, Infiltrators are jumping, they kill these two, mech is killing your Vel'Koz. What you can do against good Infiltrators, so you need to make sure that they are actually swapping over, is last second you put your Vel'Koz here. And here's why, because their mech is here, their Infiltrators are here. The only unit that's here is usually the Lux, and Lux cannot solo the Vel'Koz. Neither can a Kale. Sometimes they add in a Kale, no items, right? Because all their items are on the mech. So Lux and Kale cannot kill the Vel'Koz before the Vel'Koz kills the mech and the Infiltrators, and the Vel'Koz can still hit them from this style. So that's an advanced trick. Otherwise, against your average Infiltrator player, they always keep it middle, so this is completely fine. That brings us to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.